Hello everyone, welcome to another Here's of the Grid Ranger video. Today I'm going to be covering the third member of my latest Ranger team, and that is Trini, the Dragon Armor Ranger. Now, Trini, as per usual, has an unusual deck layout. In fact, I think it's different from all the other Rangers in Heroes of the Grid, unless I'm mistaken, but Trini, her deck layout consists of 5 3-shield cards and 5 1-shield cards. She has no 2-shield cards in her deck. It still all adds up to 20 shields total, but like I said, there's no other ranger like that I'm aware of. And who knows, maybe in the final, Kickstarter, all the stuff they're releasing, maybe they'll have one more ranger like this, but it makes her very unique and, very fun to play. But jumping right in, we'll talk about her character ability, which is Black Dragon. Its ability says, at the start of each battle, place the Dragonclaw token on an enemy card of your choice. Rangers may ignore the guard keyword when attacking that card until the end of the battle. And as you might have surmised by her ability, she came with a Dragonclaw token, and so you can use her ability, basically. You place it on an enemy card of your choice, and so basically you can put this on a card that does not have the guard keyword, and so any ranger now can attack that card even if there's a card with the guard keyword next to them. They're not being protected anymore. That's my understanding, because otherwise it wouldn't really make any sense. I guess I could see an argument that you have to place it on an enemy with the guard keyword, and if it's on that enemy, then it's ignoring any enemy around it. But my understanding is that it only affects the enemy that it's placed on. So in that sense, if you put it on a passive card, even if it's being guarded, you can attack that one. So that's how I played it. But if I'm incorrect, please let me know in the comments. But moving on to the first deck, the first card in her deck, it is Vorpal Claws. It's a 0-cost, 2-dice attack with 3 shields for defense. Its ability says, add 1 die to this attack if the target has the Dragonclaw token. So already you can see how placement of the Dragonclaw is very important for Trini. If you attack the enemy with the Dragonclaw, you get an extra die. If you don't, it's still a 2-dice attack for 0 cost. It's standard. It's still good. But potentially roll 3 dice for no cost. That's very good. And the next card in her deck is Jet Rush, a 1-cost 3-dice attack with 1 shield for defense. Its ability says, after you resolve this attack, place the Dragonclaw token on an enemy card of your choice. So if you're able to defeat the enemy that has the Dragonclaw token with Jet Rush, then you can put it on another one, so that way you can start using, maybe Vorpal Claws next turn for another 3-dice attack. One important thing to note, actually, before I continue, is that once you defeat an enemy that has a Dragonclaw token, it still stays on that card, even though it's defeated, unless you can move it with some other ability. So Jet Rush is perfect to do that. If you took out the enemy that had the Dragonclaw token, then you play Jet Rush on another enemy card, and attack it. Even if you don't defeat the enemy you are attacking, if all you want to do is move the Dragonclaw token, you can do it now. You can move it to any other enemy card of your choice. So, and the same rule applies in terms of Trini's Black Dragon ability, that you can ignore the guard keyword when attacking that enemy that has the Dragonclaw token on it. So this card is a good attack, but its main use is moving that dragon token around whenever you want. Alright, her next card is Guard Crush. It's a 1-cost reaction card with 3 shields for defense. Its ability says, play this card when the enemy card with the Dragonclaw token resolves. Deal 1 damage to that card and reduce all damage it deals by 1. So if let's say you have an enemy card that's going to attack every single ranger. Once it resolves, you play this card in reaction to it. As long as it has the Dragonclaw token, you'll deal 1 damage to it, and then even if it's attacking all the rangers, each ranger takes 1 less damage from it. I mean, even if it's just attacking 1 ranger, reducing damage by 1 really can make or break a ranger, basically, a ranger's deck, whether they survive the battle or not. So it's still a really good card. Well, okay, so let me just say this. Let's say the enemy card resolves that has a dragon token. You play Guard Crush to deal 1 damage. If that 1 damage defeats the enemy card, since that card is resolving, it still does whatever effect it was doing before it was defeated. So if it's dealing any damage, it still deals the damage, but Guard Crush reduces it by 1. So the ideal situation, let's say if it's going to attack all enemies, but only has 1 hit left, you play Guard Crush, defeat the enemy card, and then all the damage the Rangers are taking is reduced by 1. Like I said, that's the ideal, but I mean, there's ways to use this. It's still a good card, reducing damage, dealing damage, kind of a catch-all for 1 cost. Next, Up is Dragon Rage. It's a zero-cost maneuver with 1 shield for defense. Its ability says place the Dragon Claw token on an enemy card of your choice. Deal 1 damage to that card. If this effect defeats a card, you may spend 1 energy to repeat this effect. This is another way, along with Jet Rush, to move the Dragon Claw token around. For 0 cost, 1 damage, 0 cost is not bad. If you're able to defeat it, even better, because you can then spend an energy to move the Dragon Claw token to another enemy card. It's not the strongest card, it's not going to probably win you the game or anything, but it can really help in dealing that last little bit of damage to a card that's a card with, let's say, with the guard keyword that's blocking something. Very strategic, very good. Next is Energy Harvest, a zero-cost maneuver card with 1 shield for defense. Its ability says gain 1 energy for each hit token on the enemy card with the Dragon Claw token. Another ranger may immediately play 1 card. My first thought when I saw this was to say, oh, play Energy Harvest if the enemy only needs 1 hit left. Let's say it had 5 health, had 4 hit tokens on it. You play this, gain 4 energy, then play Dragon Rage. But you can't do that because another ranger has to play 1 card. Now, keep in mind, you don't. Another ranger doesn't have to play a card. You can still play this card if you just want the energy. Actually, I don't know if I actually got to use this card when I used Trini on my team, because the more I look at it, the more I realize how awesome it is. But I don't remember actually using it in the game. Maybe I just got unlucky and never drew it. But anyway, really good card. Finally, we'll move on to her power weapon, which is Havoc Laser. It's a 3-cost maneuver card with 3 shields for defense. Its ability says immediately defeat the enemy card with the Dragon Claw token, then shuffle your hand into your deck. So it doesn't matter how much health it has, whether it be a foot soldier, monster, or boss card. Doesn't matter if it has the guard keyword, passive keyword, unless the enemy text says cannot be defeated by card effects or something like that, or like must be defeated by an attack. This card will defeat any enemy card on the board as long as it has the Dragon Claw token on it. So that's another reason you may want to use Dragon Rage or Jet Rush to move the Dragon token around. Naturally, most people would think that this is a very overpowered card because for 3 energy you can defeat any enemy card in the field, no matter how powerful. But the obvious drawback is that you have to shuffle your hand into your deck. Once you play this, you really can't play anything else unless you have someone like Tyler, who's it's about to get wild ability, can let you draw 2 cards afterwards. But seeing as how Trini has 5 3 shield cards, even if you put all your cards back into her deck, you can just use her as defense then. She can tank a lot of hits. So Havoc Laser is awesome. I used it at least twice in my game that I played with my Ranger team. I also used her actually this when I played with actual other people, and it was awesome. I don't remember who we were fighting, but I know I took out one of the boss enemy cards that would have been super annoying to deal with. But enough about Havoc Laser. Next, I will go on to Trini Zord, which is the Mega Black Dragon. Its ability says exhaust this card during a battle. Place the Dragon Claw token on an enemy card of your choice. The health value of any enemy card with the Dragon Claw token is reduced by 1. So my understanding is that as long as this card is on the field, whether it's exhausted or not, whichever enemy card has the Dragon Claw on it, Dragon Claw token, its health is reduced by 1. The only thing exhausting it does is move the Dragon Claw token. So again, this is another one of her cards to move the token around. But yeah, it's a very good card. Sometimes reducing it by 1 health is pretty much just dealing 1 damage to it. If, let's say, you use this card to put the claw on Scattered Visage, now that card only has 2 health, so you only have to ping it twice. You don't have to waste your Havoc Laser anymore. You can just hit it 2 times. But yeah, really good card. And now going to a more detailed breakdown of Trini's deck. She has 2 copies of Vorpal Claws, 2 copies of Guard Crush, 2 copies of Jet Rush, 2 copies of Dragon Rage, 1 copy of Energy Harvest, and 1 copy of Havoc Laser. So like I said, she has still has 20 shields, but they're just split up differently than most rangers are, and every other ranger is. Black Dragon Armor Trini is really good. I've used her a couple times before, and she just really, her Havoc Laser is like very, very powerful. It helps a lot just in getting rid of the most annoying card on the field. Now moving the dragon token around can be tricky. I mean, yeah, that's kind of her playstyle. Her playstyle is entirely based around the Dragon Claw token. I mean, you don't have to attack the enemy that has the Dragon Claw token on it, but without it, all of her cards pretty much, I think every one of her cards deals with a Dragon Claw token in some way. If you're not able to put that token wherever, in the ideal location, then you're not going to get the most out of Trini here. Her secondary thing is basically being a damage sponge. She has 5 3 shield cards, so she's going to be able to put cards back to the bottom of our deck a lot easier than every other ranger in the game. Even if you have three shields in your hand, you still have two in your deck somewhere as long as you haven't played them already. But yeah, that is Trini, Dragon Armor Trini. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about her below. And in the meantime, head on over to OnceRanger.com to check out the full card database, and I'll have affiliate links provided below. Thank you.